Hello everyone, hope you are doing well. So finally we are uh, online, and a lot of people right now are having a lot of issues going on with this current global crisis, which is a COVID-19, and which created a lot of huge issues for a lot of people. And I know personally by speaking and dealing with the different kinds of people who are employees, who are the senior executives, who are officers, who are the top managers in the different companies, and who are the business owners. And literally everyone now is suffering a lot with this global crisis going on. A lot of people would like to overcome this crisis, and they have a lot of questions, and they're in a panic, and they don't know actually what to do right now. And so we had received a lot of questions where myself and other people that we know personally, we got for them the answers, the best answers. Because the worst thing that can happen is when someone is in uncertain situation, like which is right now. People they think that okay, in a 1 week time it will just go, it will pass, and everything will be okay. So unfortunately this is not always the truth, because when the people are sitting and relying that okay, after 1 week everything will be back, everything will be okay, unfortunately this not always happens in this way. We would like to discuss the different questions, and the first question that is very interested for a lot of people is that when the coronavirus crisis will over. So the question is, it's a very subjective question that there can be a lot of thousands of different opinions, and we're discussing here the opinions of different experts. And for example, my opinion here will be that it will be for sure it will take more than a 6 month everything to get settled. Why I think so that it will take more than a 6 month? For example, if we will take the best example who won the coronavirus, we'll take China. China got this pandemic crisis in the January, and recently the China got opened. So this can be let's say if we'll count a month, January, February, March, and April. So 3 months it took for them to win the crisis. But do you know that even though that the China is open now, it's open now, but in case if they will find out anyone who is infected, that they will shut it down back. They will shut it down a certain area. So let's say if we will compare it in Dubai, let's say Dubai overcome this global crisis, and it means that if tomorrow, if they will find someone in Dubai Marina or Deira or Karama or Dubai Creek Harbor, in any of these areas who got infected, they will immediately shut down this area. So the situation is really unclear. It's not so easy as a lot of people are thinking. So, and the one more thing is that it's not about Dubai who will overcome the crisis. Let's imagine if Dubai will open. Let's say a few other countries will be still closed. If just one infected person, if he will come to Dubai and he will infect others, the full pandemic effect, it will start over again. So there is some theory that if you got ill one time, so you won't get a second time, which is there is a very high chance for you to get it even a second time. After a certain period of time, you can get infected by COVID-19 one more time. So when coronavirus will over, so at least it will take another 6 months. The first thing is the vaccine should be created. Without vaccine, there won't be much progress. And regarding Dubai for a very long time will still remain closed, in the sense, yes, might be the shopping malls, everything will be open, but the people to come here, it requires a lot of efforts, and it requires a lot of control, not only from UAE but from other countries as well. For example, I'm from Russia, and in Russia the stats are rapidly growing 2 or 3 times more than UAE. UAE is doing a tremendous job to overcome coronavirus. So to answer the question when coronavirus will over is, first we need to get a vaccine, and second it will require a time when everyone will get this vaccine and everyone will be open. Because if, let's say, if everyone get cured in UAE, let's imagine they open UAE. If one person from Italy comes, for example, if Italy from any other country comes, he can just, the boom can start over and over again. So it's all about the vaccine. And to get a vaccine, we know it's not an easy task. It requires a lot of tests. There are different stages and phases, and they need to test, for example, certain animals and then human beings, and they, after a time, they need to watch that these people are okay. So for me, it will take at least 6 months of this crisis period for sure. So I don't think that you can expect overcome the crisis earlier than 6 months. I'm sorry, 6 months. Okay, the second question that we got is, I'm sitting all day at home. What useful things I can do? So there are plenty of useful things that you can do. For example, the very obvious one that I will say is read a book. I was recently having one online session, and I was telling to the audience that I'm the #1 person who used to hate to read a book. I used to hate to read literally any book. But later on it changed when I started reading really useful books for me. So I don't remember that I have read any book during my school days. But after school, when I went to college and university, and when I got a few interesting books, I really read them, and every day I personally read a book. Okay, so one thing that you can do sitting at home, first thing is you can read a book. Then second thing, for example, you can do some push-ups or physical exercise at home. One thing, guys, regarding reading a book, very important rule if you want to love reading a book, is not to read just literally any book, for example, some fiction or anything, or detective maybe, or some horror or thriller. No, you need to read the book that makes you better. So I'd like to recommend a few books that will literally change your life. The book #1 is that you can read sitting at home is written by Dale Carnegie. The book called How to Win Friends and Influence People. How to Win Friends and Influence the People. This is the book #1 that will change entire your life. The second book that will change your life, if you are someone who is driven to achieve success and to earn a lot of money, is Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. So this is the second book that will change entire your life. And the third book that will put you on the railway of success is Poor Dad, Rich Dad. So by Robert Kiyosaki, Robert Kiyosaki, Rich Dad and Poor Dad. These 3 books, you can read them literally sitting at home. Then you can go to more complicated books like body language, gestures, how to recognize lies, or let's say how to become an expert in marketing and sales and so on. But better start from these 3 books. So by the way, regarding reading a book, what I do personally, I keep a certain discipline in a book. So every day, my minimum pages that I have to read is 10 pages, and the maximum I read 50 pages. From 10 to 50, this is my daily target for reading a book. Another question, I'm sitting at home, how can I improve myself? For example, the best practice that you can do sitting at home is, if you are lacking some skill, read a book. If you are lacking some skill, read a book. For example, if you feel that you're lacking a skill of proper communication, read a book regarding this. So literally go to Google something, best book on communication, and read this book. For example, another thing that you can do, imagine that you are really not, for example, I'll tell you something from my personal experience. When I was, I think, 21 or 22, I had a big band of friends, like maybe around 5-6 friends, were very close. And one day they literally went out, they went for a barbecue without informing me. So this was a little bit painful experience for me. And then I was thinking, why this happened to me? Why they didn't inform me? So then I was trying to find something negative in me. So they probably, there was a certain reason why they didn't want to have my company. So then after this, by the way, I downloaded the book by Dale Carnegie, How to Win Friends and Influence People, and I start working on myself. So what I wanted to say is, if you lack a certain skill, and if you lack a certain trait or certain thing that you would like to have in your personality, just get a book and read it. So you can improve what I believe is, there are several ways you can improve yourself. One is reading a book, second one is watching something useful. So these are the two things that how you can improve yourself. Okay, so another question that we have got is how to manage my rent. Right now I'm renting an apartment, and how can I manage my rent without having an income? Okay, if you're renting a property and your rent is not low and you cannot manage it, then it's a real problem that a lot of people right now is suffering. So the best thing you can do is, the step number one is you approach your landlord directly, not via the agent. If you're renting from the agent, I directly approach your landlord and tell him, hey, I cannot afford paying you all of these checks. So we can find a solution. Either first one, you will give me a discount or 50 or 30% or current 3 month for free, or I will have to vacate and I will have to move somewhere else. So in this case, that if you're unable to manage to pay your rent, so the best thing will be for you, if you have some friends or family members, for you to get merged in a one property, and you will stay in a one apartment as a few families, you and your friend families. This is one of the best ways that you can do right now. But let's say if in your contract it says that if you are vacating, you have, for example, you cannot vacate, you're not allowed to terminate your contract, because there are some these kind of rental agreements. By the way, here, Dubai Land Apartment and Rental Dispute Settlement Center, they will support you. So in this particular case, you can vacate without paying any rent. So this is what about managing your rent. Either negotiate or you move to your friend. Just let me answer one message. Okay, so the next question that we have got, how to overcome a depression. I'm sitting at home and I'm depressed. Okay, first of all, the depression happens when one of the main reasons when you sit at home and you are depressed is when you don't feel yourself useful. When you don't feel yourself useful and you're worth something, so then people they tend to feel a depression. Here the best thing for you, if you're depressed, if you're sitting all day home, make a certain to-do list for you for a day. So it can be read 10 pages of a book, watch, for example, 2 videos of self-improvement, 3 things, learn some new skill. It can be literally playing a guitar. It can be, for example, programming. It can be how to build a website. It can be how to do marketing. So build some personal skill, some new skill that personal will improve you, and include in your to-do list every day. For example, call someone from your friends or from your family members. And this is what you do. You just make yourself feel that you're useful. Then you will overcome a depression. Once again, if you feel that you're useful, you're worth something, then the depression goes away. So the usual depression comes when you're just all day long sitting at home doing nothing, and your subconscious is telling you, man, you're wasting your time. There is something going on, and how you're going to survive. So then the depression comes. Okay, so one employee who is working on a salary-based, she's asking a question: will my job be safe after the coronavirus? Right now I am on unpaid leave. So right now the person is on unpaid leave, and she's asking, will her job be safe after the coronavirus? So it's a very big question. Your job will be saved only if you are a superstar in your company. If you're someone that company cannot, for example, cope with the work without you. If you're a superstar in your company and your company desperately needs you, then yes, your job is safe after the coronavirus. But if your company can somehow operate without having you on board, so then there is a very big question that your job will be saved, and there is a very high chance that you can lose your job. Here is the best thing that you can do is you can literally speak to your boss, the company owner, and you can literally discuss, for example, hello, Mr. Michael, how are you? Hope all is well. Right now, I know I'm on an unpaid leave, and I know that the business is really struggling. We're not doing really so well like before, and I'm really worried. I love my job. I would love to be continuously the part of the company, but I'm so scared. I would like to check, and I would like to ask, do you think that my job is safe? Do you think that my job is safe? Will I keep working after the coronavirus, or when I will be back on a full-time work? Because most probably a lot of people are going to lose their jobs, because the reason is very simple, and right now it's a right time for you to take actions in order to secure yourself. The reason is simple, because literally every single business is not getting the income that it used to get before. For example, if any company before used to get, let's say, monthly 1 million, right now companies monthly are getting 200,000 or 300,000 dirhams, and they are unable, and we can't blame them. We can't blame them. Pradeep, thank you very much for your question. Glad you to be here. I'll answer the question: how to approach expired clients during this lockdown, and what time to contact. Okay, so the best time now to contact your previous leads will be around 1 or 2 p.m. Of afternoon time, because now everyone is sitting at home. I always used to wake up before, I think, 6 or 6:30 a.m. Right now my sleeping pattern is entirely damaged. I'm waking up every day 9 or 10 a.m., sometimes 11 a.m. And it's really hard when you're all day sitting at home, when your body is not getting tired. It's very hard for you to wake up, let's say 5 o'clock morning or 4 a.m. morning. So the best time here will be for you 1 or 2 p.m. time, and still you have to approach all of your clients. You have to call them, you have to text them, but always better, preferably the call. And when you call them, the best way you can build your pitch is, first of all, talking about the crisis, about the coronavirus, asking them how is their stay at home going on, and you can literally ask them, for example, if this is a lead, I assume that this will be, let's say, one of your inquiries that was inquiring before. You can ask them, I know that this is a really hard time going on, and I would like to check with you, would you potentially or hypothetically interested in this property? Let's say I assume it's a real estate property. Would you be interested to go ahead with this real estate property? So first of all, why it's good for you? Most probably, Pradeep, you will hear no, most probably, and I need to tell you this, and it is okay, it is normal, and at the end you can get him in the basket for your future contacts. So by calling him, speaking with him, and later on he will keep you in mind for this particular property or product. For example, let's say if it's a different product, let's say if it's a marketing service or it's an SMS service or any other services. So don't expect a very high conversions, but it doesn't give us an excuse to stop working. It doesn't give us an excuse to stop working. Another question that we got from one of the employed persons: my salary got reduced, will company increase my salary back? So salary got reduced, will the company increase my salary back? So most probably no, company won't increase your salary back, because as we discussed, if before company was making 1 million and now the company start making 100,000 or 200,000, so company they can't afford paying this much salaries. Because remember that even after the coronavirus period, the fear, people still will remain frightened, and there will be this fear, and people will be very scared to spend money. After the World War II, United States, the government of United States was stimulating people to spend a lot of money and to spend their salaries, going outside, going for entertainments, buying some different stuff that you don't need. And this is really needed right now in order the economy to keep running. And the same, all the countries will have to do again, because businesses are literally almost stopped now. So to answer your question, most probably you won't get your salary back. It will keep reduced, but there is a chance for you to get your salary back if you have a really good relations with the owner of the company or with your manager. You can speak to your manager, tell your manager that you really need your salary back because, for example, you have a certain mortgage, you have a credit card, or you have some car loan or some family issues, or to show that you desperately need this money. But most probably you won't get your salary back increased, unfortunately, of course. Another question, I have a savings, how should I manage my savings? So I think this is a very common question right now. Regarding your savings, you literally have to save every single dirham. You have to save every single cent, every single dollar that you have. Don't spend much. Don't spend much of your savings. Don't buy stuff that you don't need. Don't try to order less and save money because you don't know what will happen tomorrow. Maybe one day you'll have to go back to your home country. So keep these reserves with you. Pradeep, thanks very much for the second question. Let me read it. How to approach sellers and landlords, this related to real estate, and they doesn't feel pushy or offended. How to ask or how to approach. Pradeep, here is very important will be for you to have a personal touch with them. When you call them, by the way, I have an experience of two people. One person, he speaks very, very officially. Like, for example, hello sir, this is Ahmed calling you from Ahmed's Real Estate. How are you? Good afternoon. How is everything? So it's not really the best approach that you can make. Let's imagine that you have a certain landlord. Even let's imagine you have never seen him, and even if you don't know him, but you know that there is landlord, his name is, for example, Pradeep, let's say. And let's say he owned a property, let's say somewhere in downtown. So you dial the number and you say, hello, good afternoon, Pradeep. How are you doing today? Hope you're very safe right now. So he says, hello, good afternoon. Yes, thank you very much. Who is this? Long time no see. So you can say the long time no see. Pradeep, I would like just to check with you. You have your 1-bedroom apartment in downtown. You won't believe now in this coronavirus period, I got a couple of inquiries. Would you be hypothetically interested to sell or to rent your property? I would like just to see maybe you need my help or not. For example, you build your communication not in a professional way, in a very professional or corporate way. You build it in a very casual way because now it's a time when we must have our feet on the ground and be human beings and try to help each other. So this is how you build your sales pitch, and this is always help for me. Okay, so we have got another question. Can my company fire me or put me on unpaid leave due to COVID-19 legally? Yes, legally companies are allowed to fire people and to put on unpaid leave. Initially it wasn't there, but then the publication came out. So yes, the company legally they can do it, and you cannot object it or file the counter case. Okay, so another question for the employees who are looking for a job, what to remember while going for the interviews. Okay, there are still some people who are having the interviews. For example, in our company we have done, I think during this lockdown, maybe around 5 interviews, maybe in a week or in a time of 10 days, we have done around 5 interviews. So there are still some companies that are hiring. So the very important thing for you will be, of course, always on the interviews to show that you are super confident, that you are super overconfident. How to do it? Just first of all, the way you sit. Don't sit in a very folded way. Sit in a very relaxed way. Just move your arms on the side, move your head up, and speak very confidently. And this is the number one that you can do on the interviews. And the second step that you can do on the interviews, show that you are the best for this industry. For example, we have been hiring one marketing guy, and let's say we're selecting only that someone who will show that he's the best. We know that there are now a lot of human resources available in the market for the job for marketing, and they will be happy to be hired, but we will be hiring only the best ones. So to show that you are the best and to show them that you can give a lot of benefits for these companies. The best thing for you will be to ask a question. For example, how do you see the ideal candidate for this job? What is the ideal candidate look like for you? So you ask this the HR manager or someone that's taking your interview. So the person will say, well, actually we need someone who is very good in graphic designing. We need someone who is very good in video editing, for example. then after this you can say, oh wow, I'm very strong, I'm very, very good in graphic designing, I'm very strong at this, and so on. So getting this information, then you can prove him that you are the best in this. Okay, so we have a question. Can I find job in the COVID-19? Yes, you can find job in COVID-19. There are plenty of companies that are hiring right now. You can survey and you can search them in the internet, in the LinkedIn, in the, for example, Facebook, or in Google, or in Indeed.com. I think Square Yards were hiring. I think I just saw their LinkedIn post. I think some few more. I think these were mainly real estate companies that were hiring, and there are some other companies that are hiring remotely. The best thing platform, I think, for you to get a job, it will be Indeed.com, it will be LinkedIn, it will be Bait, not Bayut, Bait.com. You can try with the Gulf Talents, but the best one, of course, is a references. It's a reference. Literally, don't feel shy. Ask any of your friends to refer you. So there are still companies are hiring. Okay, so there is one person who is a self-employed, and he's asking a question: Will I be getting orders for my services after the COVID-19? So it depends. If your services are one of the most demanded services, so then you will be getting. Otherwise, I don't think that you will be getting, because people will be spending on the main needs. The main needs are, it's a cloth, it's your, for example, your clothes, it's the food, it's a medicine, it's your housing. These are, yes. Other ones, it's side services, so the service industry will be suffered a lot. I have no orders. Should I chase or prospect my clients? Okay, this is one of the self-employed person is asking. Absolutely, you have to chase your clients. You will hear a lot of no. A lot of people will say no, I don't want, not right now, later on, but still you have to do it. Why? This for your long term, because let's say after 3-5 months, when their business will be in a certain way, okay, so they will approach you back. Okay, so another interesting question: how can I make more money in coronavirus period? The best way for you to make money, it's first of all, it's online, and the second one is to sell the most demanded goods. So it's either online or to sell most demanded goods. So online, it can be literally any online services, online products, it can be online courses, it can be some online products, deliveries, and so on. The most demanded goods will be something related to the food and medicines. Only in these ones you can make money, or it will be something relating to the housing, the most demanded ones. You can make money in the real estate as well. It will be much more harder and more difficult, but you can still make it. So one investor is asking a question: should I invest right now? 100%. Obviously you have to invest right now, because now because now it's the best time for the investment. The best time for the investment, because one of the main rules of the investment, buy when everyone sells, and don't buy when people are not selling. So, by the way, here is another question from another investor: where should I invest my funds? In which products or in which goods the funds should be invested? Okay, if you have a certain savings, or if you're an investor, I would not recommend investing in stocks or any in any goods on the trading platform, because these are not physical goods that you are having, because the real estate, it is physical good that you're having, and always you will be having some real asset with you, because stocks, there is some theory that a lot of companies, they can become bankrupt, and they might not improve so significantly, so immediately. So shares, personally, I'm not really expert in shares, but I would not recommend investing in shares. I would not recommend investing in gold or other resources, because maybe I'm not the expert. But the main thing that I would recommend to invest is real estate. Right now, to invest in the real estate is the best time. And if you have some liquidity, if you have some cash, don't invest only in one country, invest in the several countries. For example, it can be US, it can be Europe, it can be Asia, it can be Middle East, for example, Dubai. This is the one regarding the investment. So, another question. I have a mortgage. Should I sell my property? So it's a very complicated situation. If you have a mortgage and you cannot afford paying your mortgage, then the first rule, if you cannot manage paying your mortgage, immediately you have to sell this property. If you cannot manage it at all to pay this mortgage, just immediately sell your property. But if somehow you're able to pay your mortgage, let's say from your savings or from the side income or from other way here and there by borrowing the money from some of your friends, then you better keep your property, because the property will increase in value, not in the short term, but in the long term. So you better keep this asset. But if you desperately need money and you can't manage the mortgage, better get rid of this. Okay, so one business owner is asking, my income, my profit had lowered. What can I do? Okay, so the question is, my income and my profit had lowered. What can I do? So if your profit had lowered, working in the having your own business, obviously, and for sure that this is normal right now. The first thing that you have to do is you have to get rid of all the expenses that you have, the side expenses, which are not vital expenses. So side expenses can be, for example, ordering, let's say in an office, coffee. It can be some unnecessary marketing. It can be some unnecessary outsourcing contracts. So you have to focus on the sales, making a very hardcore sales. That's it. If you're a business owner, this is what you need right now. Only focusing the hardcore sales. Another way for you, if you can't survive at all, it will be to get allied with another company, to make an alliance with another company. This can be this is what can save you if you have a lot of losses and you lost your profit. For all the business owners, it's hardcore sales you have to focus on. And I have to say that get rid of all unnecessary human resources or other expenses and focus on hardcore sales. Should I shut down my business? I'm having losses all over. This is another question. Should I shut down my business? So first of all, as I said, that you have to slash your all expenses. You have to slash the entire cost. This is the step number one. Step number two is, if somehow you can manage your expenses, you can manage your costs, don't shut down your business, because the market will be back. Because this is now, we are reaching the peak of coronavirus. After the coronavirus, there will be a movement. Better do not shut down your business. Try to manage somehow your cash and to cover your expenses. That's it. Slash your cost, manage your expenses, minimize every single your expenses. Try to focus on the hardcore sales and don't shut down your business right now, because there will be a better day. Because if you will shut down your business right now, there is most probably nothing you can do right now in the market. You can't do literally anything right now if you shut down your business. Okay, so I would like to start a new business in current period. Should I do this? Okay, so someone wants to start a business. I personally always appreciate an entrepreneurship. I always like when people are entrepreneurial, are starting something new, starting a new businesses, even there is a crisis, even for sure this will be a failure, but still obviously I would say yes, you better go ahead with your business idea, but do a proper planning. Make sure that you will not have unnecessary cost, for example, like paying a high rent for the office and so on. Try to avoid every single cost which without this, if you can survive, avoid every single cost and start your business right now. Don't stop business. Go ahead, do your business, start your own business. There is another question that we have got. I can't achieve the target and generate sales. How do I spend my time sitting at home, because I can't achieve my targets and I can't achieve my sales? Okay, so this is from one of the salesperson. Maybe he's employed in a company. First of all, you need to show that to your company and to your management that you're working every day and you're working really hard. The best way that you can do it, every day prospect your clients, every day call every potential lead, every potential prospect, every single number in your phone book. prospect them with your product, and even though if they want to buy, give the report to your management that hello, Mr. Michael, I have done a certain number of calls. Unfortunately, due to this crisis period, no conversions. These are the numbers that I have called. These are the list of the people that I call. If you're the salaried salesperson, this is what you can do in order to secure your job and yourself. Another thing, what you can do is you can send the bulk email, let's say 1,000, 2,000, 5,000, or 50,000 emails with offering your services or your product. Of course, there won't be much conversion right now, but still remember that people will keep you in their mind. Whenever they will need this product, they will come to you. But let's say if you are non-salaried salesperson, then I don't think that the company can strictly ask you to achieve your targets because they're not paying you salaries. Okay, so one question, how to have meetings or viewings related to, if it's a real estate, with the client, how to have meetings and viewings with the client. So literally you can't have meetings or viewings with your client right now due to this shutdown, except you get a permit if the client is willing to meet you. But most probably now the clients won't be willing to meet you in person because they will still be having this fear that you might be infected and you can let's say have a coronavirus, for example, even if you have no symptoms. So the best way for you, it will be to do it virtually. Like for example, it can be Zoom meeting, or it can be Microsoft Teams, I think, Microsoft Teams meeting, or in G Suite for Google or Gmail. Google have their own Google people, they have their own software for the online meeting. So this is the best what you can do. And how to get this, for example, let's say if you're working in the sales industry, in the sales field, you must be having a certain number of your prospects, of your leads. Number one is definitely you have to give them a call and you need to say, hello, Jamie, I just would like to check that you're okay, you're fine, you and your family, hope all is good with you. Then you can go to the topic, first discuss the coronavirus, discuss just the normal stuff going on in the world, and then after go to your topic to sell your product. And you can literally say, I'd like just to check with you, is there any possibility for us to have online meeting and to discuss our product or service, or the real estate or the apartment that we have showed you, or the product or services that we have offered you. So you need to ask for an online meeting. You can do it via Zoom, and it's as far as I know, it's available for free. I think up to 40 minutes with the Zoom you can have a meetings. I think it's more than enough. I don't think that you'll be doing a meeting with a client more than 40 minutes. Okay, another question, I want to sell online. How can I sell online? So first of all, it depends what exactly you want to sell online, which product you're willing to sell online. For example, let's say if you are, I'll try to take two different industries. First, let me take a real estate industry. If you want to sell real estate industry online, real estate property or something online, so the best thing for you will be to promote yourself in a social media, send some brochures that are not the brochure that developers are giving you where there are 10, 20 or 30 pages, but give them the, for example, one-page brochure about your product. First of all, promote yourself in a social media, put some useful content related to the real estate if you're working in the real estate market. If you're working in the marketing industry, so put a really useful content for the marketing industry. So first of all, to promote yourself on social media. This we call organic, just make a posts appear, record the videos, talk about something interesting, talk about something beneficial for others, give them tips and advices related to your industry. This is number one. Number two is, if some budget allows you, you can do social media campaigns, for example, Facebook campaign or Instagram campaign, let's say 300, 400 or 500 dirhams to promote yourself, to promote your product. Or if the budget allows you, you can create a landing pages and promote it with the Google AdWords. But Google AdWords is it can be a little bit expensive, but still it's worth trying it. And of course, guys, don't forget cold callings. Don't feel shy to arrange an online meetings with your investors or with your clients. don't be shy. Just literally call them and tell them, sir, I would like to tell you more about this project of MR. Can we have please with you a Zoom call? You can literally ask, can we have a please a Zoom call with you? So at the same time I can see you, so I will know that you're fine, that everything fine with you. So you say it with a certain spices of joke in a very positive way. So it has a really good effect, guys. So to summarize, you can sell online, first of all, by promoting yourself, promoting your product very aggressively. Aggressively means, let's say, make a post of your product or yourself every alternative day, build a good brand image, and give some tips, give some advices, record the videos why your product is good. This is how you can do that. Okay, so another question was, which traits make you best real estate broker in Dubai? Which traits? So the question means like, what kind of characteristics makes you the best real estate broker? So this relates to the real estate industry. Last time I was speaking in one of my videos that Ahmed, thank you very much. Thanks for the question. I'll just answer this question. By the way, nice seeing you here. For example, for you, in order to be the best in a real estate broker, so you must understand that if you're a real estate broker, you are working in the sales. You're working in the sales industry. So sales, as I said, it is convincing, and convincing is when people trust your opinion. Now I want you to think in which case someone will trust your opinion. Let's imagine you and your uncle or your friend or your friend's friend. You don't know him, your friend's friend. In which case he will trust you. Let's say your friend told him, hey, speak with Ahmed, he will help you, he will assist you with this. So in this case, if someone refers, there is a certain trust is already built. That's why whenever we have referrals, it's much more easier for us to convince these referrals, isn't it? I'm sure you would agree with me. If you have referrals, it's much more easier to convince them because there is element of trust is already built. But let's imagine there is some lead that is coming from the street, and how this lead should trust you. So there is a certain pack of skills and characteristics and a certain skills that you must be having. For example, I would like to start from very far. Bahrain, hello, glad to see you here. I'd like to start from very far. The number one thing that you must have accordingly having the appearance of your personality. For example, imagine if I'm working, let's say, if I am selling, let's say, very luxurious, very expensive properties, if I'm wearing some shorts, some sneakers, and wearing, let's say, some t-shirts, so most probably people won't trust me as the extreme professional, most probably, if I don't have already the good brand and good image already built, right? So if they just coming from the street and they don't know who is Ahmed, so the first thing that I need to get their trust, right? So first of all that you need to have is the appearance. You must look according to your profession. You must look according to your profession. So for example, if you're working in the real estate, you must look accordingly. Let's say if you're working in the marketing, then of course you can wear shorts, you can wear t-shirt, you can have some funky hairstyle and so on. But if you're selling a very expensive products, a very, let's say, luxurious and classy products, then most probably you must look formal. So the first thing is the way you look. This is number one for you to be best real estate broker. But it is not enough. You must be looking like a top model, but if you lack on other characteristics, so you will not be the best broker. So the second thing that you must have is a proper body language. Imagine if you're looking like a movie star, but you're looking like your face is very negative. Your face translates very negative energy, being very, let's say, angry or being very like rude. So then this is another big barrier that you will have. So you always must look very positive. You always must smile. By the way, there is one experiment that you can do. Of course, we're all human beings. Sometimes we're angry, sometimes we're happy, sometimes we're positive, and sometimes we're negative. One exercise if you feel negative or if you feel upset or a little bit down, literally try to keep smiling during 3 minutes. Just keep smiling during 3 minutes, and you will start laughing. So your mood will improve significantly. So you can do this exercise in order to get this positive vibe around you. So the second thing that after appearance you must have is the proper positive body language. First appearance, then the positive body language. So the third thing, this is how the client, he sees you. But when it comes to you, he starts talking to you, he starts communicating with you. So then your communication matters, right? Because someone might be looking so positive, he might be looking like a movie star, but you go to him, you speak to him, then like, what he's talking about. So the third thing that you must be having is a proper communication. So proper communication here, it doesn't mean for you to know all about, let's say, Imar or Dubai properties or about other developers. So it is literally being a very pleasant person to communicate with. It's really literally for you to communicate in a very pleasing, in a very decent, in a proper manner. So it can be being smiling, asking how's the sir or how's the madam, asking that they are safe, asking about their kids, asking how's the life going on, asking where they're working, asking about their industry. For example, I had a client who was working for one super huge pharmaceutical company that was producing medicines from cancer. It's amazing, producing medicines for cancer, and I used to enjoy a lot talking to him, and I used to ask a lot of questions about the conspiracy theory, asking is it true that the cancer is actually they have a cure from this, but these the Masons or these people, they're not giving this cure to the humanity. For example, he said, Ahmed, that's not true, because if there would have been a cure, these pharmaceutical companies would have earned millions, because now every second or third person dying from cancer, for example. So you can always find a subject to speak to the person. So the third thing I would like to say is a communication. Communication doesn't mean you to be able to say, this is the best Imar's project, it has a 6% ROI, it has a 3-bedroom, 5 units, and 2 units of 1 bedroom. No, communication means being a pleasant communicator, So this is the third thing. So, but this is not also enough. Imagine that there is someone who's looking like a movie star, and imagine he's super positive, imagine he's very pleasant guy, he's very nice guy, but imagine he's not the expert. Imagine he's not the expert. He doesn't know anything about the real estate. So this will be another big barrier for him. So he must be very good in his industry. He must have all the necessary knowledges. And moreover, he must know the law. When people are operating, referring to the articles, referring to the law, when the law was issued, so people are really, wow, he's the extreme expert. I have to deal with this guy. He literally knows everything. So this is what I would like to say. The first one is the appearance, the proper appearance. If you're working, selling very expensive products, make a proper, some hairstyle, make whatever hairstyle, use gel or any hairstyle that is suitable for you. Or if you have a hair thinning, you can use any hairstyle unless it looks presentable and professional. And always be dressed if you're selling a high level products like properties or expensive or flight jets, so then you have to wear always very formal. So it's a shirt, it's a tie, it's jacket and trousers, or maybe 3-piece suit, so it will make this impact. Or if you're selling something like a marketing, or where your creativity is assessed or evaluated a lot, so you can have a very creative hairstyle, let's say different colors like a rainbow, having all the colors of rainbow on your hair, and wearing shirt or t-shirt or some shorts, then it is fine. So these are, so you must have first one the appearance, the second one super positive body language, third one very pleasing communication, and fourth one knowledge. This is what you need to have in order to get a recognition from the people. But if you're working in the real estate, especially in the secondary market, this is not really enough. Pradeep, thank you so much. I will come back to your question after answering this question. Thank you very much, Pradeep. It's really nice seeing you here. Then it being an expert. So if you're working in the secondary real estate market, then of course the first thing that you must have a lot of properties with you, a lot of demanded properties. Without properties, guys, you're just wasting your time. And you must have at least 30 direct properties with you. 30 direct properties. Direct properties, I mean when you have, let's say, properties where you have all the documents and forms signed. 30 is the minimum in order for you nowadays to perform. If you want to perform in COVID-19 period, you must have 30 minimum direct listings with you, and to have the previously mentioned all these traits and characteristics of personality. If you're working for the off-plan industry, I feel that it will be suffering a little bit. The same main 4 characteristics, and then you must work on a project that most probably will be demanded and easy to sell, because people now will be selling not mainly in the high-end luxury properties, but mainly for the investment purposes, because now the investment era started. So this is what you do in order to be the top real estate broker. If you are salary employed, if you feel that your job, I have another question about being salary employed. If you're a salary employed and your job is under a big question right now, for you it's the best time to start exploring for the new job opportunities. You can do it by Googling, you can do it checking on Indeed.com, LinkedIn.com, Bait.com, and literally you can write to the HR manager, I'm very desperate or very eager to have this job. I would love to have the interview. So I'd like now to come back some questions. Okay, Ahmed Nazmi, he's asking, did the invest in apartments better or villas recent? Okay, so the question is where to invest better, apartments or villas? It entirely depends. If you want to invest for the investment purpose, let's say if you want to buy, let's say 5 units or 10 units, then obviously apartments, because you have less expenses, less costs on this, and very high chance of generating the profit, because a lot of people nowadays are living in apartments. So in villas, mostly living someone who can afford them, because villas usually, if it's not a townhouse, are starting from 3-bedroom villas. And keep in mind, guys, the more number of bedrooms, the more harder it is to rent. Let's say studio, it's much more easier to rent than 1 bedroom. 1 bedroom is much more easier to rent than 2 bedroom. 2 bedroom much more easier to rent than 3 bedroom, and so on. So that's why if it's only for the investment purpose, obviously apartments, if you want to generate some income. But if you are buying something for yourself, then it depends on your taste. For example, let's say I myself, I'm not really a big fan of villas, while my brother, he is a very big fan of villas. I like more apartments. So in my case, it is my choice, apartments, and someone else, it can be villas. So for the end users, villa is very good, and nowadays they will be getting a really good offers for this. Ahmed, I see that one message, it's in Arabic. I don't speak Arabic, unfortunately, so I can't understand. Okay, so Pradeep would like to read yours. As you have recommended to read books, so can you please suggest some books related to real estate or how to increase income in this current situation? Pradeep, the thing is that the most challenging thing of this situation, that there is no one just formula how you can doing, for example, ABC, increase your income significantly. Unfortunately, there is nothing like this. Otherwise, everyone would have been earning a lot. But what is there, it's all about your skills. So it's all about your skills, how you are able to find a way to get out from this crisis. You can get out from this crisis, first of all, by saving all what you have, your savings, your costs, your expenses, by reducing them. Secondly, by generating some income. So if you're working in the real estate, the best one for you is to generate sales. Let's say if you're working in the secondary industry, day and night, sit, call, get listings from your landlords. Get listings from your landlords all day long. Then, as soon as you get your listings, advertise them immediately. Let's say if you have 50 listings with you, You might get a client for only 2 listings, because now the clients, before the market was like this, now the market became smaller, so we have to focus here. So you need to get a lot of listings, and you need to publish, and you need to advertise them, and then you need to arrange viewings. Either you can ask the landlord, or you can go yourself getting a permit before 8 p.m. You can go yourself, record your property on a video, and then you can share this video with your client. So this is how you can survive right now if you're working in the real estate. Parallelly, I would recommend you to working on your social media branding, on your recognition, on letting people trust you, making an exposure for your name, and so on. But if you're asking the books, I will give you a few books that will help you in the real estate particularly. It will help you a lot in the real estate. So the book number 1, which I have referred, How to Win Friends and Influence People. How to Win Friends and Influence People. It is a small book. It's not a really huge book. It's a quite small, compact book. There is no. It's not like there are thousands of pages or hundreds of pages. No, it's a quite short and small book. So go with this book, How to Win Friends and Influence People. This is the first one, and the second book for you will be Alan Piz, the body language. So you'll be able to read your clients and read the body language of your clients. If you need more motivation, or let's say you're a little bit lazy, you have to overcome your laziness, so then I would also recommend you to read Men's Search for Meaning. The name of the book, Men's Search for Meaning, by Viktor Frankl. So these are the books that will help you right now. So I would like to summarize for all employed people who are working on a salary basis. If you are on unpaid leave, speak to your owner, speak to your manager or your superior, talk to him, ask him a direct question that you're very worried, you want to plan yourself. Will your job be safe after the coronavirus? This is what you can do. If you feel that company will get rid of you, right now, today, start searching for another job. Right now, start searching online for another job right now. And of course, save all your savings for all employed ones. Self-employed people who are working for themselves. So services after COVID-19, the services will be not so demanded, because demanded will be the such services and products that are related heavily to life. For example, food, medicines, housing. These are the main goods and services that will be required. Maybe some maintenance, but other services, it won't be required immediately. So self-employed people will suffer a lot nowadays. So all the investors who are having certain funds to invest right away, invest right now. And for me, the best product you can invest, it's a real estate, because at the end you are getting some physical asset with you. All the business owners, if you want to survive, to make a conclusion, slash your costs right away, get rid of all unnecessary resources that you have in your company. Try mainly focus, the entire focus must be built on the sales, just to squeeze every single juice from the sales. And advice to the real estate brokers, real estate professionals: number one, if you're working for the secondary market, every day call your landlords, get their listings, advertise them, publish them, record videos for every single your listing. And if you can't go for a viewing, or if clients not coming for a viewing, send these your videos to your clients, or let your client go there. But every single day you have to you must approach 150 your landlords in order to get their properties. The people who are working mainly on sales, I'm talking about real estate now, real estate salespeople who are focusing on off-plan or primary market, every single day you must be doing 150 calls minimum. So call your all potential prospects and potential your buyers who had made an inquiry, and just call all possible people, call all your contacts, literally everyone in your list you can call. Zubair, hello, glad to see you here, welcome. And the other salespeople who are can be salary employed, the best thing you can do now, prospect your clients, send them bulk emails, because SMS, I believe it might be maybe expensive if you're doing it in a very massive way, but still you can do SMSs, you can send bulk emails, you can do calls. You will hear a lot of no. It is okay, guys, better to hear this no rather than you will sit in a depression. So to make a conclusion right now, for you to overcome this COVID-19, every single dirham you must save. Second one, if you need to get prepared and you need to find alternatives for yourself, what can be done. Either you're a business owner or if you're the employee salary paid, you must now start looking for the alternative ways. And the third one, focus on the core sales, and try to save your money. My opinion that for everything to over the COVID-19, it will take at least 6 months. It's my opinion. I hope I'm wrong. I really hope that I'm wrong, but this is my opinion. 6 months, the severe, this current, this like slow economic recession, it will be there for sure. If you are sitting at home, remember, guys, that at the end of this COVID-19, you have to get out of this COVID-19 being better than you were before. So you have to have some new skill. Try to learn how to play on guitar, learn, for example, programming, learn social media. Now it's the best time for you to start social media. Learn, for example, how to create a website. Learn, for example, something related to your industry. Learn law, learn regulation. Every day read a book. For example, how my day personally goes, when I just literally wake up, before I wash my teeth, when I'm laying in my bed, I just take my phone and I read book before I literally stand up. Then I go, for example, there is a prayer, then there is a breakfast, then there is a time with the family, then I watch YouTube videos, tutorials to improve myself, then I try to do some physical exercise, sitting at home in, for example, in my room, I can do, for example, physical exercise, or in my apartment, or I go to balcony, I do physical exercises. For example, I try to do online sessions, online trainings, video streams. So try to spend this time with the youth, guys. This is the only thing you can do. There is much thing you can do right now more than what I have said. There is nothing more you can do right now more than what I have said. Follow this, and you will feel better. You will start enjoying this, and you will feel less depressed. You will feel less worried. If you are paying a rent, as I already said, approach your landlord, negotiate. If you can't manage your cost, you can get allied with one of your friend and live with your brother or with your cousin together in one apartment. Guys, thank you very much for your time. Now I think it's already 1 hour. So these were the first questions that we received. I really hope that we were able to answer some of your questions. If you have any additional questions, you can literally text us on any of the platforms. You can text me directly on a Facebook or on any social media platforms that I'm available. And most of them, I believe, I'm available. Thank you for your time, guys. Stay safe, stay home. And very important that nobody's saying this, be super productive. Be crazy productive. Just smash it. Just like crumble it. Just smash it. Thank you, guys. Thank you for your time. I wish you a great day.